Microphone, check. Oh, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Why is this? Why is this? Why is everything breaking on me today? Um, okay, this should be fine. Microphone, microphone, just testing you. Oh. Okay. All right. Theory. This will work. This will work. Everything's connected. And if I go to the intro. All right, I have to move these buttons around because this is confusing. I guess that won't update until later. All right, close enough. Close enough. All right, seems kind of dark, but it's not as distracting now, right? I don't know. I don't know. What about me? Could I still talk? Does this work? Is this working? I think this is working. Oh my god. I don't know. Watching you fluster over all those things, try to make things work. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. Also, where are you? You're over here? There you go. Hey, Miles. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a super duper while. Um, since it's been such a while, figured I better make sure everything works because Friday I'm going to do a Streamlabs stream. I'm going to take over the Streamlabs Twitch channel again Friday afternoon and draw stuff for people for as long as I can handle. And tomorrow we're going to do a podcast, me and Tara. So just trying to make sure things work. And literally, the tripod that holds the camera in place that was kind of homemade-ish from a microphone stand, so it could so it could fit there. But then I grabbed this other actual tripod for a camera that fits right here perfectly, and whatever. So first that the homemade one just fell apart, yay, and then this one, I it's like kind of old timey, I guess. I don't know, but you can't quite screw the camera in all the way, and there's just no tool that fits in underneath there to get that screw to have enough tension to screw the camera in place. So I finally just got fed up and thought, well, what if I just put super glue in there? Maybe I'll just cover it with super glue, but then I have to wait. So then I took a handful of post-it note pages and wedged those all up underneath the camera. So the camera works, the microphone seems to be working, and then it was just like, whoa, oh, you want a multi-stream? Well, some idiot changed their Facebook password. Like, yeah, that was me, because everybody was hacked, and I refriended somebody who was like, don't friend me, I got hacked. Like, oh, I better change my password. So then it was all like, I can't stream this over to Facebook because you don't exist anymore. So I don't know. How does the audio look sync wise? Did that look like I snapped my fingers, or was that like 4 seconds away? I don't know. I don't know. But change some things. Change some things and just try to see what works. You know what I just realized though? I forgot to make a talking Ripley scene. There she is, just sitting there, blinking away. So I guess while we're here, um, I'm gonna duplicate this scene. I'm gonna duplicate this scene. We're gonna call it Ripley Talk, and then boop. And then there's the drawing screen. Working on a new book. That was the whole point of today. Was oh, of course I moved everything. That shouldn't be. Oh, let's watch the intro again. Why not? And not. Hey Ripley, sweetest angel. Just moving scenes around here. And where's Ripley? The two Ripley scenes together, and then add a media source. Add the source. There should be one called Ripley Talk already. Where Ripley? Where are you? Where's Ripley talking? I guess I didn't save that. That makes sense. I'll add a new thing called Ripley Talk. So yeah, I had an idea for another comic. Still working on the main comic, and I thought, hey Ben, does this seem like a good idea? And Ben was like, I'm in. I was like, even better. Work on this comic for me, Ben. So I'm still gonna do most of it, but it'll be nice to include Ben in a project like we used to in the old days a million years ago. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Looking for R so I can spell Ripley. I don't see it. Oh, she's got her own folder. I hope this is new and it's not a file that is older. And I think to myself, put it on the right layer. Ooh. Okay, and then the Ripley Blink, or the Ripley Talk is a bit closer. Zoom in on her while she's talking. And in theory, this will make sense, right? Ripley still. Hey! Or first, let's use the buttons. Let's use the buttons. And then we got, oh, there's the drawing screen. Make sure this works. Oh my god. Everything's out of control. And there we go. Proper color. Brush. Be using, there we go. Do a 3. Yeah, so that'll work there. So there's that scene. Still have to get this set up a little more comfortably. What about that other thing? Okay, yeah, so all right, let's try this. So I'm like, hey, here it's me. Nope, I'm also here. Looks like that window moved like you wanted it to, but you forgot that you updated it, and now it's in the wrong place. It sure is. It sure is. Make these things. Why? Why, Avril? Do I gotta go and make things so complicated? So in theory, I can be like, hey, Ripley, is everything working okay? And Ripley's like, meow, 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 meow. All right, that sounds good. Ripley, stop talking. Awesome. And then I go back to me, and I'm like, hey, a bunch of crazy stuff happened this week, which it did. I've got lots of notes, but I'll probably save them for next week. Maybe I'll do some drawing, but honestly, still too frustrated after just spending all of my life trying to get this stuff set up. Because also, everything that you can see is what you can see. They're supposed to replace the windows in my building 4 weeks ago now, 3.5 weeks ago now. I don't know. So I've like cleaned everything up. All my lights were jammed up in a storage closet. One of the light tripods, that's broken for some reason. It just won't adjust. And just I don't know. Like most of this room is empty now compared to what it normally is, and everything here wire wise is all over the place. So I just spend way too much time trying to get everything back in order. In my head, I was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing the stream earlier, so I just can get some work done on these comics instead of just telling stories. And insane. But then ideally, I'll have to get another clip again. Get this to this still works, which I don't believe it does. Yeah, that's just gonna break. Everything's broken. But in theory, that we can go to the flash screen where I'm drawing la 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 la. Oops, la la la. We can go in on a and everything. Go in on a panel, start cleaning stuff up, and then whilst in the panel, while Milo's sitting there watching, is he frozen? Oh no, he's still just watching. And then, in theory, we can go like, hey, I'm just watching you draw over here, and I was just thinking that while you're drawing, that I could just say some things, or maybe it's my turn to make up a dumb little song. How come? What if you move that? Oh, there you go. Not that anybody can see what I'm talking about, but only you can. Now the theme's way too big. Seems like a way too big of a brush. But whatever, you're the expert, and I'm just some cat sitting here waiting to be the star of your little dumb book. Well, of course, I guess it will be the greatest book ever since it's about me. So that makes a lot of sense, really. Continue on doing more stuff about me. And then he stops talking, and I'll have to come up with a slightly better transition for that. I did really want to get some pages cleaned up, but now it's already almost 9 o'clock. The other reason I'm going to move the stream to an earlier hour. But as per usual, every time I give myself a little plan of what I think I'm going to be doing, or of something that I think is only going to take a few hours, a few minutes, it ends up taking forever. And then I'm like, well, now what? Well, now what do I do? And I also just realized, do I click over here? This should work, right? Oh, forgetting so many things. It's been a long time since I did a live stream. But that's not a crime. Yeah, I don't like how there's so much space. On the screen. That is not drawing screen. But I'll keep messing with this stuff before Friday. Well, the Streamlabs stream will have a whole different setup than this one. But by next week, maybe I'll have this figured out. And I do realize that I've been saying that for like 3 years now. But one of these days, I'll actually figure out what it is I'm doing. And do it properly-ish. which is kind of, upsetting and weird when I take the time to think about the fact that my job is, my day job is making stuff to make sure streams look uh, and run well. And then meanwhile, I just can't do it for my own. But that's always the way. It's just how things normally work. Yeah, it looks fine. That looks fine. Now, some of the stuff that's in this book already is some nice rough sketches of how I want the book to eventually look. Crowfoley. Wait, Crowfoley? Crowfoley. Yix? Or YIX? Crowfoley. Follow and hey. Crowfoley. That's another word for sounds. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying there. A lot of the stuff in this book so far looks how it should, and a lot of it. I say a lot of it. There's like, I don't know, 4 pages in here so far. Um, but yeah, a lot of it is just placeholder art. And in theory, I'll remember what's supposed to go there when I actually sit down and work on this stuff. But I definitely should have done a better job roughing this stuff out. This is just looking kind of sloppy. It's good. But regardless, I've got too many random projects on the go at the moment. Working on giving stop motion Skeletor action figure his own little series of shorts on YouTube and Instagram. But right now on the living room coffee table, is Skeletor's head, partially carved out with a Dremel tool, a rotary tool. so far everything's basically working out. Except I'm not talking as much as I should over here. So what's up with that? Excuse me. Yeah, I need a better chip clip. Won't fall apart. I want to try to hang my phone over here. There we go. That's working, right? That ain't working. That's the way we do it. On the MTV. Alright, let's try. Let's try. There's me over here talking like this. Maybe you should move that window up, and then if it updates when it does, you'll be confused again. So true. So true. Oh, there's the microphone. There we go. And yeah, so yeah, like all the lead, this was all just like pure darkness back here, so it looked like I'm just like green screening myself in front of just a black screen for whatever reason. But yeah, figured do it like other streamers do. Where it's like, hey, here's the chat window while we're just chatting and not trying to jam in the drawing thing. Although I don't know, is it still in here? Put it up in the corner. See, it just ends up so small unless you're watching on a huge TV. Excuse me. Even then, it still just ends up blurry. And we just be like, hey, this is the place where I'm talking, and I'm just like, what do you think about that? And this idiot's all like, don't call me an idiot when you're giving me as an example of myself. I'm right here. You pointed right in my own face, and then you said that. And still, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, Batman is still the dumber character in the cavalcade of characters over here. Oh, I still get to chime in. Oh, thank you very much. I thought I was out because this voice is just so raspy that it hurts. Yeah, that voice is not conducive to jumping to other voices at all. So when you accidentally press on the wrong button and say jump over here instead of your own voice after doing that voice, really makes everything difficult. It sure does. It sure does. Batman voice definitely always requires something to drink. More reasons to replace Batman with some sort of mer-person type character. Meow, 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 meow. No, of course not, Ripley. We'll never replace you. Yours is the easiest. I don't even have to think about what it is you're saying. You just make those noises, and then I can react however I feel necessary. Okay, yeah. Switch these. Literally just kind of randomly doing stuff here to see like what feels good, what works, what doesn't, and hopefully I'll remember all of that and then change it later on. I guess technically, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this screen other than have less overlay. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Still fine. Anything where I could jump in and start talking at any point in time, even though sometimes it looks like I'm kind of stuck there and frozen. But that's okay. I don't mind. Sometimes I need a little break. And then we can look at Ripley. Back is the same. Yeah, that should do it. That should do all the things. Don't need to get too crazy. Oh yeah, Ted's not here. Ah well, figure something else out. Change more characters. Mostly. I have to get myself working on this new book rather than taking naps. So that's why, yeah, next week. I'm going to do my best to change all the things. To say the podcast will be earlier. This live stream will be earlier. Just like the podcast, which is usually earlier. We usually do that at around 7:30 on this same channel. And, that's a bunch of improvised fun with Moxie Fox. And just realized I didn't switch back over to the drawing part. Yeah, at least with this setup as well. For the most part, if I'm drawing, it's on the screen. Just have to remember to keep it a little bit over to the left. Make room for Milo there. He is basically in the way. Oh, I do have an idea. I could, dare I? I don't know. I'll review the tape tomorrow. Let's see what I come up with. Excuse me. All right. Drawing is working. Like this leg at all. Like that even less. We'll copy all of this, paste it down here. There, laziness rules that page. And it does look technically like too thin of a line. Should have stayed at 4. Oh yeah. I was still testing. See if this works. See if this works. This. Now if I pick this. All right, music is coming through. I think. Well, visually I can see it. Here we go. That's a nice beat, you know. Gotta play some music on the go so you can have a fun little show. Why not pick the right color of a brush? Because you're in too much of a rush. And everything's gonna look silly. Gotta, not be so willy-nilly. This seems so... And yeah, it's the right. And now playing Safest Places on Earth by Amos. I'm sure that is properly pronounced a mess. All the safe places in the world, I'd go there, but I'm a mess. Just a name, not a Call of distress. Oh, this EDM music. It always kind of drifts around. Did it again. Drifts around like jazz, I guess. You feel like it's gonna kind of keep going on a bit of a flow. And it does this weird offbeat thing. Not that it's wrong. I'm not good at making music. Just saying that. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna start making up a little rhyme here while this little beat plays. And all of a sudden it just kind of detours, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not making a little beat. Making a little rhyme with this beat. I can't predict where it's gonna be. So this one feels like it's gonna be quick. Very, very nice. I believe that's what it's on now, is the lo-fi chill. Oh no, it's just on chill. Let's try the lo-fi. Lo-fi? Ah, yeah. Definitely a lot more even. Here we chillin' with a lo-fi beat. Everybody is out on the street, causing trouble, as I just heard sirens go by. And every time I leave this place, I run into some sort of infuriating guy. Or just people and places that have stuff to say that they shouldn't utter in their angry way. Because it's infectious what you say. People absorb emotions. Because the other day, Miles, I went over to the pawn shop, secondhand store, music store. It's a whole lot of things in one beyond their open door. And I figured, hey, I'm not gonna get a PlayStation 4. I'm not gonna get a PlayStation 5. So I'm gonna get some more games for my PlayStation 3. I was watching the Game Grumps play Elden Ring, and it looks like a great game. It looks pretty great, I have to say. My game playing experience is not vast. I'm gonna say as it was when I was a kid, but it wasn't very vast then either. But the Elden Ring looks pretty fun, and they were like, "Hey, it's pretty much the same as Dark Souls." It was like, I don't really have any good like sword fighting games like this. I want to play some cool like sword fighting games. That'll be fun to just throw on. Because what I was doing was, one day, I believe it was Instagram, maybe it was just some news article, but the news article or the Instagram heading said something along the lines of, "Hey, this and this and that, they they only offer a false sense of accomplishment. You're not really accomplished anything. And one of the things on that list of like 2 or 3 things was video games, and it's just like, you, you're right. You're right. Except I took it in a different direction where it was like, I work all day and I have accomplishments. I make little animations during the evenings, and those are accomplishments. I went for a walk the other day, accomplishments. I did some cleaning, accomplishments. But what I need is an extra sense of false accomplishment. Just, I don't know, something about it was like, I haven't played a video game in so long, and I just keep picking up games, and I should turn on one of these systems, the Wii U or my PS3. That's right, I'm living in the past. This is no big deal. Tempted to adjust this camera slightly as well. Okay, let's see if we can tilt it slightly. Meow. Oh, go this way. There we go. And then technically, other than the fact that my arm is not behind Milo, we go to Milo talking. Hey, I'm over here. There's the tree in the background. Unless you want to put like a crazy zoomed up version of the camera behind me, but if you do that, then you're gonna have to do it every time. That's okay. I'll just talk and act like you're not there. La 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 la. Even though people can see your mouth moving now. Closer, getting closer. Roll it. There you go. Flop it up, flip it, and reverse it. You're gonna fit him. And now try. Go from here. Hey, Milo. Hey, that's me, Macarena. Hey, what you doing over there, Macarena? Hey, what's going on over there, Macarena? Hey, Macarena. Alright, well, not quite. That is technically way over my shoulder, and then if we go here, too low. And there we go. Technically that's a little better. If I sit over here, actually, yeah, that'll work. That's all set up. Look, it looks great. La la la. So yeah, I was watching the Game Grumps play Dark Souls as well, and same thing. I was like, I don't really want to play this game. I'm not gonna do the missions. I don't want to finish anything. So I did pick up a while ago Wolfenstein and a Doom, and I thought like, this is gonna be amazing, like Doom with like PS3 graphics. Like, we're gonna have a good time. And on that disc, it had Doom 1 from like the old computer days that I was used to, and Doom 2 that I believe I played. Possibly Doom 3? Was there a Doom 3? And then, whatever, the 3D PS3 Doom game, which, oh my god, I felt like I was playing it forever, and I never actually started playing it. It was just like, alright, go over here, pick up, talk to that guy, like, okay, hey, go look at this thing. Like, I'm still not playing the game yet? Hey, let's go watch some videotapes. Like, I'm just supposed to be shooting weird space zombie monsters, right? Like, come on now. Where's the demons from Mars? Why am I not shooting and exploding monsters yet? And it's like, all right, go down here. But in order to go to this area, you're gonna need air tanks. Like, just let me walk around in your space station. Stop putting so many restrictions. I'm not actually trying to get a job in space. So that kind of sucked, but it was awesome. Like, just throwing on regular old Doom is still pretty fun to play, I have to say. I was really surprised. And I liked playing Wolfenstein. I believe on the PC is where I played it for most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all coolin', trying to shoot Hitler. And no, I'm not fooling. So I threw on Wolfenstein, and I was playing that for a bit. And it's pretty decent. Like, I was really surprised. It plays real good. I'm not great at shooting first-person shooting games at all. I do like jumping around more. Am I losing my mind? I am losing my mind. We set to paint behind. We are. Yeah, that's it. BFG edition, and it's just like if whatever it was, it's like, all right, father, you're down an elevator. There's finally a guy, and it's just like, I don't know about this. Like, we might be dealing with space monsters. Like, okay. Then a space monster comes out, and that was it. It was just like there was one space monster, and it's like, all right, now head back. No, I don't want to head back. I want to have an adventure right now. So I don't think I put it back in. But Wolfenstein, again, I was terrible at it. Didn't quite realize, like, oh, you're really gonna put the magic stuff really does play a part in this, but in a way where I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing with this magic? Where it's like, you know, put this on. It's like it makes you a little bit faster, a little bit more powerful. I guess I don't know. It doesn't seem to make me more powerful. But it's like, hey, here's your weird extra mutant power off to the side. Like, oh, snaps. Alright, I'm just gonna draw this straight down. I'm gonna take another color. There we go. Weird. But anyway, like figuring out how to aim and just getting into a game again, it kind of took me a little while, but the Wolfenstein, it didn't take 2 days before the actual game started, even though it still took quite a while for the game to start. Why can't I draw this hand the way I want it to draw? But it was fun. But yeah, again, all the supernaturalness of it all is kind of weird. And it's like, oh, like turn on this thing and you'll be able to see people's weak spots and whatever. Like, well, these weak spots are pretty obvious, I think. It's not a game I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna keep going at. Cause again, I was like, I have no idea. A few missions in, I'm just like, these are pretty repetitive already. And I don't care anymore. Also, I'm playing this at the same time as like something like it is basically happening right now in the world anyway, and that kind of made me feel weird. So it was like, wait, who are these people? Like, oh, he's fighting with Poland, and he's a Polish Jewish American guy. And they're just like, hey, like you're the hero because you're American or whatever. Is kind of annoying, but yeah, just kind of weird in the present climate. So even more so, I was just like, I kind of just want to run around chopping up monsters, alright? Like, just actual monsters, not stuff related to world wars, past, present, future, real, or not. Even though the mechanics of it I was enjoying. So, even though I've got a pretty decent library here, I was like, I could throw Batman in. I've got some Batman, like, Origins I never played yet. I've got Arkham City, which I did play to the end the last time I had a PlayStation 3. But yeah, I was like, I want to throw a sword fighting game on the shelf. So I went over to the secondhand store and I grabbed Shadow of Mordor and Dark Souls 2. Threw in Shadow of Mordor, and wow, it's so fun. Yet another game that takes 7 hours to start playing, and that's even with like skipping cutscenes. Because I'm just like, really? Like, oh, let me tell you. And I genuinely don't understand anything they're talking about most of the time. I'm like, I've seen Lord of the Rings, I get it. And it feels like the first time I watched Lord of the Rings, when I was like, oh no, I should have asked somebody about this movie. I should have studied before I got here. Because I don't know what they're saying. They're saying a lot, and it doesn't seem to matter most of the time. Because like some of them, I played it for like a few hours, just literally jumping around, sneaking up on orcs, and just murdering orcs left, right, and center. And it was just like, this is the greatest. This is a good sense of accomplishment, and I'm loving it. Ba da ba ba ba. Not even realizing like, oh, there's already like a Shadow of Mordor 2. Maybe that's for the PS4. I don't know, but whatever. I'm just like still way behind in the times, and I don't care. But once again, mechanically speaking, I think that Shadow of Mordor is what I expected. What is that game? Assassin's Creed to be like when I played. But the first Assassin's Creed was the only one I played. I was very excited for a climbing on buildings and jumping around kind of game, and that game was just so unbelievably slow and boring. And I mean, again, I'm sure it picked up, but so much of that game was just stealth, and I'm just like, nope, I want the option to do both. I want to run into the middle of a bunch of people and go bananas, and I also want to sneak around, whichever mood I'm in. If I'm here to play the game, I'll play by the needed what do you call it? Stratagems required. But if I just want to, have kind of a Grand Theft Auto-y fun time, I want that option as well. And this game seems to have that option where I can just throw it on and just dive head first into some orcs, smash them up. And I still don't quite understand when it saves or if some of my battles are being saved. But I tried to look it up, and it seems to be like, oh, if you beat one of these, captains of the orcs or Urics, whatever. Not Orikai, but some other tougher orc name that they threw in there, that it saves them. So anyway, just running around. Stabbing orcs with swords. But again, it still has the like, hey, you've got some, upgrade points. Would you like to spend them on the upgrade tree? And so often I'm just like, I don't even know what this means. Like, yeah, yes, I'll upgrade wherever, whatever I can. But when it first came out, I remember watching, I assume it was Game Grumps or somebody playing it on YouTube, and I was just like, this looks like the most complicated thing in the world. And it still is, because it's like, hey, I'm this Aragorn type of guy, but I'm also this, like, ghost elf, because I'm a Shadow of Mordor, because I'm dead, but I'm not dead. So if you're the elf, or if you switch over to the ghost elf version, you can shoot arrows and like see things. But the shooting arrows part, like, so often I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna from a distance, I'm gonna pick off a few of these guys with arrows. And so far, I've yet to kill anybody with an arrow. So it's just, alright, I'll just sneak around. You can climb up on pretty much everything, like buildings and stuff. And the fighting mechanic feels real nice. Again, very similar to an Arkham game or a Spider-Man, where it is just like chop, 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 chop. And if somebody's about to hit you, it'll be like press triangle, and then you press triangle and you dodge, or a parry, if you will. And it feels good. Again, it just feels like accomplishment. Feels like winning a fight without having to go out and get into a fight. Now, that being said, this is not the point of bringing any of that up. But it did work. I did feel a good little weird sense of false accomplishment from the video game. And I was like, awesome. I also tried to set up my stream and be like, alright, so now to play some video games, and it's just still a little bit wonky. I know, like, my computer just isn't quite designed for that, but yeah, I feel like it should still be able to handle it. So anyway, whilst at the pawn shop, just before I went up to pay, because there was a little wall of comic books, and I was digging through the comics thinking, hey, maybe I'll grab a few old comic books here and read those as well. And I'm flipping through, and at the counter, the dude is saying, hey, oh, what did I do? Oh, the Milo was already on this layer. The guy behind the counter is saying to the lady that's at the counter, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but this is Grand Theft Auto 4, or Grand Theft Auto 5. I believe I have it up here. Grand Theft Auto 5? Yes. I think this is Grand Theft Auto 5, which I haven't really even thrown in, but I was watching Pat play, and I'm just like, oh wow, this game is so much more just brutal and perverse and sweary than San Andreas ever was. That's the last one I played. And Pat's like, oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So this guy is telling the lady, by the way, we have to tell everyone, you know, this game is very graphic, it's very violent. There's drugs, there's strippers and strip clubs, and lots of swearing. And she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. And behind her is the kid who, as near as I could tell, is the kid that is getting Grand Theft Auto 5 today. And he looks like he himself is about 5, maybe 6 years old at the most. And I mean, he looks like a standard, like the poster child for, you know, innocence. Like, in any TV sitcom when, like, the quiet, nerdy kid's just like, I just kind of want to sit and do my math homework. I'm just a nice little kid. Would you like some help with the dishes? I'm a good kid. He just seemed like that, where it's just like, oh, this game is going to be definitely brutal for this kid. And the guy behind the counter is like, oh yeah, I was like, we got to tell everybody that now. Because, like, some mom came in, like, just flipping on us. Because, you know, how dare you sell this game to my small child? And realistically, it's just like, how dare you, like, even with this lady's permission, allow her to walk out of here without saying, oh, no, this is for a different kid, where it's just like, it still seems like it's for this kid. And she's like, nah, don't worry about it. Like, I get it. Video games are violent. Like, I don't care. And I'm just like, this is kind of insane right now. Like, this is just not... Game definitely isn't appropriate for this child, but she was just like, like, just the expression on her face was so, like, why are you taking up so much of my time? Like, just give the kid the pornography game so he can go home and play it. Like, I don't know. When you get another one of those times where I'm like, I feel like I should say something, like, I really wanted to say, like, no, seriously? As a rational person here, because this guy clearly isn't, and you're clearly not, this isn't a good idea. Like, he probably can handle this, but at the same time, I don't know, it might mess him up a little bit. He seems real little for this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was just the tiniest 16-year-old. And then, while I was paying, this lady was there because it's also a pawn shop. And clearly she comes in all the time to trade some old jewelry she has to get herself some new jewelry, which, why, I don't know. So she was just going on. She's like, oh, this is why I don't like dealing with you. Everybody else here is fine, but you always rip me off. And he was just like a young kid. Like, he couldn't have been more than 20, and he clearly is just doing what he's supposed to. Like, I'm just looking at the computer and what the value of this thing that you just gave to me is, and telling you how much it's worth on a trade. Because we don't give you the same amount of money on trading something in as if you pawn it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah. She's like, but I already looked it up. I know how much it weighs. I know how much this. I already looked at the case. So you're just lying to me to my face. She's like, listen, it's nothing personal. It's just that you're terrible at your job. That's just the nicest way I can put it. And she just kept being meaner and meaner and meaner, where it's like, I get in your eyes you think you're getting ripped off, but I'm like, so tempted to be like, go anywhere else then. Like, what do you care? What do you care? Why are you putting so much time and effort into trading this whatever gold necklace for a slightly different gold necklace? Necklace. But that's what people do. That's why pawn shops exist like that. So, clean up a page that's already has some stuff on it. But it just kept going, where I'm just like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. I'm going to start saying things, because it was just like, she had no problem with dealing with anybody else. When somebody else was like, hey, like, Derek, like, can you help me? Because this guy is garbage, and I hate him. And the guy was like, I can just walk away. I'll just walk away, and we don't have to do this now. Like, just hold on to your stuff or whatever, and wait. And she's just like, come on, like, can you help me, Derek, instead of this guy? Because he is ripping me off to my face. He's lying to me to my face. And then Derek's going through, and as near as I can tell, he's saying the exact same thing the first guy was saying. She's like, see, you're not ripping me off or whatever. It's just like, this makes zero sense. And I just wanted so badly to just be like, hey, guys, I'm old, so I'm slightly wiser than all of you, because 2 of you are clearly just plain stupid, and 1 of you is 20. So in my years of experience, I'm gonna do a little bit of reasonability math. You would like to be serviced by somebody else at the store, but everybody else is busy. They won't be busy in 15 minutes from now, so go for a 15-minute walk, look at other stuff in the store until somebody else is available. Stop berating this guy and making him continue with the transaction when you just keep saying how you don't want him to do it. But you're not walking away, so you're forcing him to do a thing while telling him you don't want to do it. And there's just something so insane about that, and he himself is just being like, we don't have to do this right now then. Like, if you want to wait, like, you can just wait. That's fine. I don't mind. But they were just like, oh, I just want you to get this done. Like, what are you doing on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, whatever day this was, that you so desperately need to get there or get out of here with a new piece of jewelry that you traded for an old piece of jewelry that you also got here at this same store that you're having such a problem with? Like, just chill out. You're not buying dialysis. You're not buying insulin over here. It's just a thing that's gonna go on your neck. And I mean, no offense, lady, but you seem like the kind of person that dresses the way you're dressed right now at the pawn shop, which is, dress the way people dress at pawn shops sometimes. And I'm gonna guess that none of your outfits go with this necklace, or this necklace doesn't go with any of your outfits. So all of this is kind of moot, right? But again, I'm not. I'm not mean, but something in me is still a little bit mean, and I'm just trying to spend my day not being mean about things, because. Whatever, the next day, yesterday, I don't know what day it is anymore, Tuesday. Yesterday, I went over to the grocery store. And just before I get into the grocery store, An old couple is there, slowly getting their masks on. And, be able to copy and paste this. And the guy's in front of the liquor store with a sign looking for change. Yell over to the old couple. You don't need to wear a mask anymore, brother, because it's the first day where we don't need to wear masks, you know, legally mandated wise. Brother, we don't need to wear, you don't need to put that on anymore, brother. Brother, you don't need to put that on anymore. You don't need to put that on. He just kept repeating it again and again, and there was two of them, and they're repeating it, but they were wearing masks, and it's just like, you're breaking my brain. I don't, you know, I didn't leave the house to be mean to people, but I really want to scream at you on behalf of these old people, because they're basically ignoring you anyway, but then in my head I'm like, they're ignoring you, it doesn't matter, who cares? But I do assume that if you're hanging out here, you are saying this to just about everybody that stops to put their mask on in front of the store. And you don't need to, because if we do need to do stuff like that, then that means that I have to be the guy that's just like, hey, you're not going to sleep right now. Why you got your pajamas on at the grocery store? Hey, it's kind of summery out. Why you got your toque on? Hey, you know, and again, it's just like you could just point out the whatever's for whatever. Like, hey, you're wearing your sunglasses indoors. Like, they're prescription. Leave me alone. Ugh. I, of course, am also the one that almost always has a story that is, I was walking down the street and somebody, you know, people take the time to lean out of the passenger side of their best friend's ride, just being total scrubs, yelling at me, just whatever. Sometimes it's just, like, why? Why can't you just drive somewhere without taking the time to scream at people who don't want to be screamed at? Like, that's just one of the main things when I leave the house is I don't want to get screamed at. And then there's people that are just driving around their cars going, I want to scream at people, so I'm going to do that. And as I said much earlier in the stream, all that stuff is contagious. So then once it happens, I want to go around screaming at people. It's like, you know, it's fun. I know that it's fun to just haul off and scream. But because I know that it's startling, didn't realize that I was on this camera still. I don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to scream crazy fun stuff outside. Yeah, because even like the day before or whatever, when I was at the pawn shop, and it's like technically the mandate's still on, and some, you know, group of people went into that store, and they were just like, "Hey man, do you have any masks in here?" We forgot our masks. And the guy was like, you're fine. Like, oh, thanks, Doc. I mean, you're right, it doesn't matter. Today versus tomorrow. Of course, let them in. I would have as well if I was running a business. But we'll just a very weird time. Not like most times aren't weird times in the history of Earth. But I definitely have extra going outside anxiety just because I already know full well that people are just going to be yelling things. Like, it's already established. If I check Twitter or Facebook before I go anywhere, I can plainly see that, people are already yelling at each other. So when I get out there, yelling will have to be endured. Speaking of which, I was at a store. Another secondhand store, actually. And the lady behind the counter mentioned something about whatever. Masks. Something about space and aliens. And I'm just like, yep. She's like, oh, I'm weird. I'm like, nah, don't worry about that. I'm super weird. Like, I'm mostly out here looking for some, like, miniature detailed stuff to add to Skeletor's living room. Because I'm going to spend the rest of my day animating reissues of old He-Man figures, and I'm building up a bunch of just stuff for Skeletor's house, and that's insane. And she's like, no, I'm super weird. Like, I believe in aliens. I'm like, how could you not? Space is wicked infinite, goes on forever. Whether or not they've been here poking around, who knows? Who knows? But out there somewhere, over the rainbow, way up high, there's definitely some kind of life that, might be completely different or similar to this guy. And I think it was me that brought up the idea that, oh, well, yeah, of course, like the ocean, like there's still so much stuff in the ocean that we haven't seen. There's so many weird fish out there. And the fact that if you really take a look at octopi, an octopus is just the craziest thing in the world. It can do everything. It can change shapes, it can change colors, it can climb across ceilings, it can just do everything. It's so unworldly. It can do things out of water, in the water. It's just, it's just a full-on space alien in and of itself. That immediately led to this adult person who was raising children and, seemingly running a business to say, and mermaids are real too. I'm not gonna explain anything, but no, they're not. No, they're not. Sorry if I'm shattering anybody's dreams, but they're not. And several days before talking with this lady, I was hanging out with my friend, who has a delightful little girl, and that delightful little girl said, "Curtis, can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Of course you can." And her question was, "Are mermaids real?" And I said, "No. We draw pictures of them, we've created things, but they come from sailors who believe this. There's a lot of fish, just sea creatures that just look really weird and different. So, if you see them in the right light, it does look like something. There's some kind of fish that fully looks like a person's face looking up at you through the water. So there's things like that. I had just watched a thing that mentioned a bunch of stuff about the hoaxing of mermaids. And I semi-unloaded a bunch of it on this kid as she very slowly just sank, like, oh my god, I'm sorry. And like, I looked over at her mom, and her mom's just like, yeah, this is definitely not the answer she was hoping for. And I'm like, well, sorry, I'm not gonna make it up. It was like, but because of those things though, like that's how we do invent our own creatures and characters. And it's like you can draw and create whatever kind of mermaid you want, and it'll never be wrong, because they're not real. So it's yours to have fun with. It's a public domain creature, if you will. And then whatever, we slowly or quickly change the subject to talking about anything else, rather than breaking this poor little girl's heart anymore. And then just several days later, I'm like, I can't believe this is basically the same thing as what I dealt with this 7-year-old, and I'm just gonna let it go because this lady can't handle the truth the way that the 6-year-old could. Because the next thing that she said was, like, speaking of, like, fish people or whatever, like, I got the vaccine, because we have to, but I don't know what the government is doing. Like, I feel like I just alluded to the fact that the government just isn't fast and amazing enough to pull off the elaborate hoaxes that people seem to think that they're perpetrating. But the one that she thought was, who knows what's in this vaccine? Who knows what's in those needles? But I'm pretty sure they're trying to turn us into something. They're trying to what now? Like, yeah, like it just makes sense that they're trying to mutate us into something. Like, does it? Does that make sense? And if I thought the government was responsible, yeah, it would make sense. Because, with the water world coming, we should be evolving ourselves into fish people, and there's no way that's going to happen by, existing in the life the way that we do now. So, they should be injecting us with some mutagen that would turn us all into fish people, but it's just not going to happen, and it's not happening. And how do I get out of this store without seeming rude? Because, that's one of a million things that it was just like, oh, this is really breaking me. And I've really got to go tell my friend that I'm somehow having the mermaid conversation again. However, this time, you clicked on me instead of the drawing screen. But that's fine. I'll say some stuff if that's what you're all about. Nope. That was a fun little adventure. Maybe next time I'll remember to actually look at the notes that I took, so that I would remember all of the things that I wanted to say about all of that stuff. But either way, the point of all of that is very interesting out there. Very interesting. There. Whole page is cleaned up. Seem to have accidentally turned that page gray. And someday I will reveal what this book is about. But that day is not today, Miles, and whoever else is watching along. If there's any way for me to see who that number 2 person is, But anyway, this was seemingly an impossible stream to get working, but I got it working. Everything seems to have worked. The chat worked, music worked. Milo worked out a lot better than I thought he was going to work out. That's weird way to put that. You know, I'm over here being awesome, rocking it in the free world, and everything is, you know, everything that I do is great. But you're, oh no, it turns out it was of course I'm always the best part. I'm always gonna be the best part while you're just drawing pictures of me. That's why I'm the greatest, because, you know, I'm the greatest. I'm the star of the comic. I'm the star of the stream. You're just here, you know, to tell the stories of things that, you know, got on your nerves this week. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty good system. I should figure out a way to get this camera mounted to this tripod better, but realistically, jamming that paper in there seemed to do what it needed to do, and if I do make it more solid, then it'll be hard to get out of there. Only this desk was... Oh, I see. This leg isn't even touching the floor. I'm gonna go under the desk for a little minute and see if this has one of those things where it can. I mean, everything still technically wobbles, but significantly more solid than it was 4 seconds ago. Anyway, that being said, that's everything for this week. Tune in tomorrow at a similar time, and hopefully I'll get everything set up for that as well. Everything, I don't think I'll change much for that. But yeah, we'll do the podcast tomorrow, and next week we'll get back on to more book stuff. Just realized that I forgot to put the arm of my glasses on this panel. Move out this line a little bit. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, it looks okay. Should I say more things? Or should Ripley say more things? Meow, 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 meow. I agree with Ripley. Batman should say more things. And I'm Batman. Miles, I'll see you later. Of the shadows. Thanks, Batman. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Milo. Thanks for hanging out, Miles, and helping me calibrate the stream. Yeah, I think this actually works out pretty good. Now, realistically, since I did drag stuff back in here, the guys will probably show up tomorrow to put the windows in, and I will have to tear the room apart again. And that's you know, that's how things normally work. That's how things normally work. Play a commercial for something. All right, fine. I think it's still in here. Yeah! Have to update the website, but there's a bunch of books and stuff there that can be bought that I've made. And of course, links to the t-shirt stop. The t-shirt merch shop that I have over in my Streamlabs store. But all of that is linked at MrCurtoons.com. Follow me on Instagram, because that's where I do most of my updating of art and things. And if you can find it in your heart to subscribe to my YouTube, that would be amazing as well. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna and the pretzel music, and then hit the credits. And I believe we tested everything. Be right back. I'll be right back. And then I'm back. And then credits.